Okay, so the affirmative wants to argue that the only way we can send a message to Iran is if we strike Syria. Iranian President Rouhani works to get Western sanctions lifted. Ali Akbar, Darini staff writer for Times of Israel, Associated Press, August 3rd, Access, October 17th. Rouhani again pledged to follow a path of moderation and work to get Western sanctions over Iran's suspected nuclear program lifted. Iran is under United Nations sanctions as well as unilateral Western oil and banking sanctions over its refusal to halt uranium enrichment and technology that can be used to power reactors producing electricity or build nuclear weapons. So my argument is that the status quo is taking care of itself. These sanctions were placed on Iran before President Assad even used chemical weapons. These sanctions are crippling their economy. That is why the new President Rouhani is trying to get these sanctions lifted. There's already plans of, or the status quo has already crippled Iran, so the message has already been sent. A successful Helsinki meeting would include a Middle East free of WMDs. Patricia M. Lewis, staff writer, International Times, May 1st, Access, October 20th. A successful Helsinki meeting would include a political declaration from the conference that confirms the commitment of all states in the region to a Middle East free of weapons and of mass destruction. In addition, success requires a follow-on process addressing practical aspects, including a framework for the negotiation of the zone. A commitment to long-term political discussions addressing a broader regional security process is likely to be part of any outcome. The Helsinki meeting is a United Nations conference that is going to be held to create a nuclear-free zone or nuclear weapons-free zone in the Middle East. So once again, the status quo is already sending a message and taking care of the problem. And we cannot expect President Assad to do nothing and to not retaliate. He's already shown his desperation in trying to keep his power by using chemical weapons. Syria retaliation will lead to full-scale involvement. Phyllis Bennis, fellow of Institute for Policy Studies and of the Transitional Institute in Amsterdam. Al Jazeera, September 2nd, Access, October 7th. If Syria retaliates against a U.S. military strike with an attack on a U.S. warship or a U.S. base in a neighboring country, or on U.S. troops in the region, or against Israel, do we really think the U.S. will simply stand back and say, no, this is just a one-time surgical strike, we won't respond? What happens when the inevitable response pushes U.S. closer towards direct full-scale involvement in the Syrian civil war? So if Syria retaliates, we are forced into now going into Syria, and we're at that point not limited to these pinpoint missile strikes. Thank you. No.